Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Feast and Forecast. It's soup season. It's finally beginning to feel like fall across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, and so I thought it was time for a good soup. In the case of today, I actually thought we'd cook a good chili. Now this goes hand in hand for a couple of different things. Fox 54 always has an annual chili cook-off, and I'm attempting to dethrone my general manager. She has won for the last 3 years, and I think it's time somebody else finally win. I don't necessarily understand why she keeps winning because she puts mushrooms in her chili, but for some reason, she continues to win every year. Now, I fully understand that times are tough. Grocery prices continue to be more expensive, so I wanted to do this in a way that was more budget friendly. First and foremost, I substituted ground beef out for ground turkey. And then I kind of tried to stick to store brand products. So all told, when it came to my chili recipe, and this includes a side of cornbread, by the way, before tax, it was $17.15. After tax, a grand total of $18.35. Chili is a really easy thing to cook. So I think you're gonna find that this is really easy and something you can do with just a couple of ingredients, and some things you might already have in your house. So your grocery bill could even be cheaper. You might already have chili powder in your house. I also put cayenne pepper. You probably already have that hanging out somewhere in your spice cabinet. I also bought a little bit of ketchup. Ketchup is also probably something you already have. So you could take the $18.35 and probably chop $4 or $5 off of that. And most of this is actually going to be cooked in the crock pot. So it's kind of sort of a put it all together, leave it alone thing. And you can make it in the morning, eat it later in the evening when you get home from work. So the first thing we're going to do, and the only thing that really needs done immediately, is we're going to take the turkey and we're going to cook that. I'm not going to cook the turkey inside. I'm a firm believer that if I can cook it outside, I'm going to cook it outside. So we're actually going to take the turkey and go put it out on the Blackstone. So our ground turkey is cooked. We cooked about 2 pounds of ground turkey and just seasoned it with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, I believe some onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, and then seasoning the meat, we also used a little bit of chili powder. We're gonna use more chili powder as we put this all together. Now the rest of this is incredibly easy. We're just gonna put it all in the crock pot, turn the crock pot on low, and just let it cook for the rest of the day. So what I put in my chili, obviously we have our 2 pounds of ground turkey, and you can use ground beef if you want. Honestly, ground turkey is a little bit cheaper than ground beef, and I also find that it's a little bit leaner than ground beef. I also have a can of kidney beans. I have 2 cans of black beans, and then I've already opened these, so I'm trying to be careful. I have a can of diced tomatoes, and just to add a little bit of flavor, I decided to buy the diced tomatoes with onion, celery, and green bell peppers. So we'll see if it adds any extra color to the chili. So we're gonna just put it all in the crock pot. I think that's the fantastic thing about chili, is you can kind of put it all into the crock pot and then just kind of leave it go. Now I was telling my wife that I was going to make chili and she just wanted me to put the ground turkey in raw. I'm sure there's people that will do that. I've always just cooked it beforehand. That's the only way I've ever made chili. And so that's what I did. But I suppose you could put your ground turkey or your ground beef in raw if you really want to, and just kind of cook it all together. Now, when I empty these cans out, I am also gonna add about a can's worth of water to this, maybe a little bit more. This is a chili recipe that I've used for years. I don't know exact amounts. It's just what I know works for me. Now, not to forget about our ketchup. I am also gonna squirt ketchup in there. It's kind of a look thing. You know how you've been making something for so long, you can just tell when it looks right. I'm gonna add some ketchup until I think it looks right. I'm gonna add some chili powder until I think it looks right. And then I'm also gonna add some cayenne pepper until I think it's going to be spicy, but I won't burn my mouth off. And again, it's just a matter of a look thing. And truly, that's what I love about chili. Everything's done. I put the crock pot on low because I have several hours. I'm going to get ready to go to work, and then I'll come home for dinner and the chili will be ready. And that's what I love about chili, or even a lot of soups, is that they're great for the crock pot. You can prepare them in the morning, just kind of let them sit there all day, and then they're ready for you when you get home for dinner. And they're also budget friendly. Like I said, this entire chili recipe, and I even bought things that you may already have in your spice cabinet, was less than $20. So I have the crock pot on low. You could put yours on high if you want it done sooner, or you could just put this in a pot on the stove and it would cook even quicker. It kind of depends, but this is a really good time saver. Again, you could leave it on the counter all day and it'll be just fine. Now, the under $20 even included a little box of corn muffin mix, i.e. cornbread. And I really like these. For some reason, I think cornbread tastes so much better when it's in muffin form. I know it tastes the exact same probably when it's in squares versus a muffin, but for me, I think it tastes better when it's in muffin form. There's other things you can have. When I was growing up as a kid, we always used saltine crackers and put some butter on the saltine crackers and kind of ate those as a side with our chili. When I got married, my wife started buying Fritos, and we would eat Fritos with our chili, and we would buy the Frito scoops so that you could honestly scoop your chili and kind of eat it that way, and that was always fun. Now, I do have an interesting note about the chili, and my wife and I still debate about this to this day, but I'm the one that makes the chili, so I get to decide. When I first made this chili, my wife wanted to know why it was so soupy. Apparently, she was used to a much thicker, less soupy chili, but the way I know chili is that it's a little more soupy. So I guess I'd be kind of curious to know whether y'all prefer kind of a soupier, true soup chili, or if you prefer something thicker and heartier with a little bit less of the soup factor. So in the meantime, we're going to head outside. We're going to talk about the weather, feast, and forecast. There has to be some sort of forecast element. So we're going to head outside. We're going to talk about the weather. And then I'm going to go to work because, well, I have to go to work. And then we'll come home for dinner and we'll have a bowl of chili. Maybe we'll have the cornbread too, or the corn muffins. As we get deeper into the fall months across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, we begin to prepare ourselves for the winter season. But the trees also begin to prepare themselves for the winter season. They stop making chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment that gives the leaves their color. When that chlorophyll begins to break down because no more chlorophyll is being produced, other colors begin to shine through, like the reds and the yellows and the browns that give us the beautiful scenery that fall usually brings to the Tennessee Valley. But not every fall is the same. The weather actually plays a really big role in how vibrant or not vibrant those other colors are. The most stunning colors happen when we get sunny days, cool but not freezing nights, and plenty of moisture through the growing season. Sunshine boosts sugar production in the leaves, and those sugars help deepen the reds and the oranges. Nights stay warm, days are cloudy, or we've had a dry summer, the colors are duller and fade faster. And if it's windy or stormy, the leaves can fall before the show even peaks. Hey, what's up, guys? Once again, Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Been at work for the last few hours. We did Fox 54 News at 5:30. We did Fox 54 News at 6. I don't always get to come home for dinner, so I really enjoy it when I actually do. Now it's time to eat. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to chili all day. Now, like I said, this was more of a budget-friendly meal. I think at the beginning I told you that the entire meal only costs $18 and I think 35 cents or so. So I was really excited about that. And one of the things I really love about chili is that it'll feed you for several days. One of my favorite things back during COVID was that I would make chili because a lot of the grocery stores didn't have a lot of food, if you all remember. And so I would make chili because it would then feed me for a week. Now, some things that would add to that cost a little bit, but you could still do for a reasonable cost. I do like to add just a little bit of cheese into my chili. Always just a cheddar or something. Sometimes you add a little bit of sour cream if you're feeling fancy, and this is what my wife put out. So apparently we're feeling fancy tonight. And then we're feeling extra fancy because we also have onions. And if onions are sitting out, then, well, I have to put onions in the chili. I really don't have much of a choice. Plus, I have a feeling they probably came from her garden. And then she did, in fact, make the tiny cornbread muffins. So I'm really excited about the tiny cornbread muffins because I kind of like the smaller size. I've never had the smaller size of a muffin before, but you can just kind of plop them in. So that's about it. It's as easy as that. I'm going to enjoy my dinner, and I will see you guys back here tonight for Fox 54 News at 9 o'clock and Fox 54 News at 10.